How you doing? How you doing today? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, good evening to y'all. It's late. It is 8:30 p.m. So, first of all, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to school board member Jessica Vaughn. Yes, yes, yes. We have to say thank you to her. If you missed her live that she did tonight at 7:30, please go and check her page. I will link it here so that you can watch it, so that you can hear what she has to say. And I'm very thankful for school board member Jessica Vaughn that makes herself very accessible to the community and is able to answer questions and listen to the stakeholders and being a public servant. Yes, a public servant, which we need to have a conversation about because it just seems that people continue to want to advocate for their own political ideology, for their own personal agenda, and it's not for what's best for our children and what's best to make sure that our teachers and our support staff and our bus drivers, our custodians, and everyone that is working so hard to ensure that we can function in school right now is able to do their job. Um, so today's episode of Broken Dysfunctional, if you don't know, this saga, this series is completely dedicated to Hillsborough County Public Schools. I've been here for several years on social media using my voice to talk about issues that educators cannot publicly speak about. In fact, I've also created spaces to allow those educators and support staff and those folks that want to speak out, and they have a safe space with being free of retaliation, because you know that happens. I do want to uplift that space today, and I do want to show you the surveillance camera wall, because there's a couple of things that I do want to bring to your attention. So if you don't know, I'll link it so that you can see this link again, but it's accessible. If you are an educator in Hillsborough County Public Schools, you're more than welcome to use this link and to write in it, and to kind of tell your piece, okay? But I do want to uplift several things that are listed in this document that I think you need to know. And then I want to talk about how Melissa Snively tried it. So on the surveillance camera wall, it discussed how people's families were exposed to COVID already. Now we are in the second day of school when the children are inside. Okay. Now, a week before that, there were educators left and right that had to quarantine because educators had COVID, did not know they had COVID, or did have COVID and still came to work. Mhm. So, there was another post that was posted today about the AC not being out, the AC being out at Greco. Now, Greco is not the only school that does not have working AC right now in this moment. And I want you guys to hear this. We are literally having children in a school, in a classroom with no AC. It is hot. Some of them are wearing their masks. It is unbearable. And yet, we have a superintendent that continues to go to the media to continue to talk about the MERV 13 filters when the ACs don't work. I just have a lot of questions about that. And this is why I'm like, you playing games. You got a whole chain on to go see Flow Rider. And everyone was sending me pictures and was like, Bianca, did you see that? Why he got that chain on? And I was like, y'all know that Flow Rider was there. Y'all know why Flow Rider was there. Flow Rider was there. He was getting crunk. He was taking pictures, chucking up the deuces, doing the same thing he was doing when he skipped work to go to a boat party to celebrate Tom Brady and the Buccaneers when he was supposed to be at a school to ensure that they had everything that they need. Okay. And then, brother, he then had the audacity to wear a chain with a crew neck shirt. And it wasn't just a regular crew neck shirt. This was an athletic Nike shirt. Okay. Let's continue to look at this though, because it's very interesting how we continue to have these narratives that, oh yeah, we're all prepared for school. We have the MERV 13 filters, we have everything ready to go, and we have schools right now, today, yesterday, and a week before that did not have AC. So I just want to know, where's the money? And I also want to know, when is it going to be fixed? Because it's just so interesting how we just allow these educators and these principals and the support staff to be in these unbearable conditions. And then you gaslight them every single time you hop your behind on the media and lie to them. And the media doesn't go back and check what you said. If that was the case, they would have checked on the MERV 13 filters when you told one news entity it cost one thing and you told another news entity that it cost another thing, and then tell the people that some of these filters are catching fire and all this type of stuff, and they don't fit because you have Chris Farkas over operations that have allowed smaller AC units to be placed in these big behind schools. And so these smaller AC units cost less money, but now they're overperforming. And then you now want to put a thicker filter on top of that. It's just messed up. And so I just want to know, at what point will someone be held accountable for this? Because it's negligent. This is negligent. You have schools right now that do not have AC, folks, in a global pandemic. And Florida is the epicenter. Okay, let me stop yelling. Let me keep going. So they said that there's 30 kids in a small middle school class, and that your child may or may not have their mask, and the teachers were told not to mention anything about the mask. It also says yesterday that the AC at Durant, it's awful. They have no AC, and it smells like the heat is on. That people are just, it's just awful. They're literally putting it. Okay, so you have 4 teachers that are out at Lincoln Magnet Elementary. 4 that are on quarantine. Where are the substitutes? Because I don't know what substitutes are coming to the school in a global pandemic. You know, substitutes barely have health insurance. Y'all know that, right? So why would they place themselves in a situation for them to be harmed? Okay, all right. So it's just more COVID. Now, I do want to bring this up because I need you to see this here. And to the board members, I'm talking to you, okay? So, if you can recall, the Achieve 3000 contract was withdrawn. Addison Davis decided to withdraw this because he knew that he was not going to get those votes, okay? So, board members, on the record, this is the question that I need you to ask Superintendent Addison Davis, okay? You have Achieve 3000 that is sending educators emails about continuing to use Achieve 3000 after the contract was withdrawn, okay? So, board, okay, this man, Addison Davis, clearly is trying to override your authority because he was well aware that he was not going to get 4 votes to continue this contract with Achieve 3000 on many different factors. One factor in particular is that we're broke. The cards are maxed out and we have bad credit, and we continue to just spend money in approving things as if state receivership is still not on the table. First of all, we haven't received all the federal money. The state of Florida hasn't even applied for all the federal money. So it's just a bunch of games right now. So board members, I'm talking to you. I want to know why Achieve 3000 is still sending these educators correspondence when y'all did not approve for this to continue. There needs to be some clarity and some answers on the record. Please and thank you. Okay. Now let's keep going. Okay, you had Franklin Middle School, 2 positive teachers. At one school, there was a rat that went through this. I mean, I can't make this up. And the comment says, don't even qualify for an M. Scott loan. Well, I'll be. I just want to know who's going to jail. Who is going to jail for this mismanagement? We've been talking about this for a minute, and most of the decisions that they're making now is not to piss the state off, and they're not trying to make the state mad because the state basically is holding their hand. Like, if you don't do what we say, we're just going to take it over anyway. So you just basically better comply. But it's the board members that are in this situation, that got us in this situation. I want to be very clear who I'm talking about when I say board members, okay? Because there's new board members that are on now that have nothing to do about the financial mismanagement. And those people are, okay, let's be very clear. Jessica Vaughn was just elected, wasn't here, not her. Nadia Combs, just elected, not her. Shake Washington, just elected, not him. Okay. But you know who was there? The finance committee. Let's go ahead and just show you their pictures so that we can make sure that we're clear. The finance committee, okay? Melissa Snively, we're going to talk about sis in just a second. You have Steve Kona, who is still on social media. And you know, it's very interesting because most of the status is about Hillsborough now. He actually changed his privacy setting to where it's only friends only. And of course, I still see it because people send me receipts. But I just think it's really funny that he's not actually making these statuses public because we're just still trying to figure out, like, sir, you served on the finance committee and you have no answers about this money. And Steve Kona, while I'm talking about you, I want you to talk about the apprentice procedures and policies that's going to be talked about, because Lynn Gray has definitely made a whole bunch of revisions to that particular policy, and I know that you're very passionate about that, so you might want to look into that. And then you have Tamara Schamberger, okay, again, continuing to use her social media page and has called it the formal school board member, and I don't know why she's using this page at all. What are you really communicating? Absolutely nothing. You're just only sharing Tampa Bay Times articles with your own captions and narratives as if you know what the hell is going on, but you didn't know what was going on about this money. And so again, we're still here. We're in an operational deficit, and the only thing that's holding this district together is federal money that the state never applied for. Okay, now, I mean, if this isn't the episode of broken dysfunctional, I mean, this is just ghetto. This is the 7th largest district in the nation that is broke. The cards are maxed out and they have bad credit, and you have leaders that have no idea what's going on. None. Okay. So this is why I say be intentional with your school board members, be intentional with who you vote for, be intentional with who's being in this seat. Okay. Okay. Now, all that being said, the palette is there. So you're more than welcome to visit the link. You're more than welcome. If you are on the inside, please make sure that you write what you need to write. It is moderated. I do moderate it. And I indicated it there for transparency purposes. And I approve the post that needs to go up there. So yeah, it's all there. You can see it. Now, I want to talk about this CRT situation because it's just quite interesting, the shenanigans that Melissa Snively is attempting to play tomorrow morning. So I just want to give you the heads up so that therefore, like, we can kind of skip like her commentary and what she has to say, because it's really moot at this point. It doesn't even matter. So basically, tomorrow morning is the school board workshop where they're going to be discussing many different policies. And so I will post a link of all the policies that they are going to be discussing. Okay. The document is around 96 pages. So you need to be intentional with this information. Why? Because it impacts your children and future generations to come. Okay. So in one of these policies, Melissa Snively thought that she wanted to add the CRT language that was already adopted and approved by the Florida Board of Education several months ago. Now, I don't understand why Melissa Snively decided to copy and paste the exact same verbiage from the Florida Board of Education when they decided to make this CRT ban. Although, let's be very clear here, folks. I'm not here to battle your political ideologies. I'm just here to provide you facts. I'm just here to provide you receipts. This is why I don't really talk about the mask mandates. I had a reporter reach out to me and ask if I wanted to speak on that, and I don't. I want to speak on these type of issues because these people right here are playing games. Let's be very clear, okay? CRT, critical race theory, it is not taught in K through 12 curriculum, period. Okay? In the state of Florida, CRT is not taught in a kindergarten through 12th grade environment, period. There's no opinions here. There's no misinformation here. These are facts. These are receipts. So Melissa Snively decides that she wants to infuse this same verbiage um, from the state to a policy. Okay. And the question is, what is her intent? So I do want to share the article with you because I did make it up and I did put her picture there so people can see who I'm talking about, because this is someone who was the previous chair of the school board. And when we had conversations about the reopening of schools, she wanted to say how we need to advocate for our kids so that they can have a safe place, and that we need to look out for our underperforming schools and making sure that they are okay. And you use that as justification to reopen schools. Okay. And then when we have a conversation about, mask, then all of a sudden now we have to look out for our underperforming schools. Then we have conversations about charter schools, and then all of a sudden then we have conversations about our underperforming schools. And every time, Melissa, every time we have a heated debate conversation, you talk about these underperforming schools and how we need to have a special call workshop, and you never called nothing. You was just the chair, Lynn. I'm sorry. You was just the chair, Melissa. You was just the chair. And you didn't call any meeting to discuss anything about our underperforming schools. You know, Hillsborough actually leads the underperformance. Hillsborough County leads the state in the school to prison pipeline. Hillsborough County is in a financial deficit. We don't even have money to show for it. We have all these external operators and Melissa, help. I'm just trying to figure out at what point were you going to call a special meeting? Melissa, hello. Okay. We're trying to figure out when you're going to call this meeting. You keep talking about it. You keep talking about it. And yet, no answers. Okay. So I hope that you call a special call board meeting so that we can have a discussion about these underperforming schools. We can have a discussion why some of our schools in District 5 do not have AC, and why somebody reported in this Padlet that there was someone that indicated, well, why do y'all not have AC? Y'all not a D or F school. That is what a district employee said to a school when they didn't have AC, and was questioning why they didn't have AC because they were not a D and F school. Okay. The comment is civility. I actually want to get to that though, because Lynn Gray actually responded to my email. So I'm going to actually talk about that in a minute. All right. So my sis says Melissa Snively makes decisions that have significant negative impact on Black and brown students. I'm not going to call her a racist, but I will say she has racist tendencies that align with white ring propaganda. Okay. Let's talk about that, because Melissa, I'm going to share this article here that was prepared, and I just want y'all to see it. Okay. So right here is the revised policy. Okay. So this is what Melissa Snively decided that she wanted to revise and add this CRT language to this policy when Hillsborough County Public Schools don't teach CRT. In fact, no district in the state of Florida teaches CRT. I can't speak for other states because I didn't look at their curriculum, and people I receipts don't. And I'm only going to talk about stuff I have receipts for. So I can only speak on the state of Florida. They do not teach CRT for kindergarten to 12th grade. They don't. So Melissa Snively decides that she wants to add the same verbiage and is going to go up there tomorrow morning and say that we need this policy. And for whatever reason that she's going to say we need this policy is a bunch of BS, because we don't even teach CRT in our schools. So I'm not sure if this is something political in nature. There's been allegations that she wants to run for Stacey White's seat to be on the board of county commissions. So I'm just letting y'all know right now that if Melissa Snively decides to run in 2022, shut it down. The reason why is because, number one, folks, she is on the finance committee, was on the finance committee, and she is responsible for the mismanagement of this district. Why would you trust her to be on the board of county commission when she was not even productive and honoring her campaign promises? She literally campaigned for financial accountability, and she couldn't even read the pie chart and financial She could not even read the pie chart and the financial documents when she was on the dais. This is what the stuff that I'm talking about, folks. This is the stuff I'm talking about. And so, I tagged her in the comments. I asked her, did she know what CRT was? I don't know if she's going to respond to me because she picks and chooses when she wants to respond to me, but she's in the Teaching for the Culture group. So she see the comments in there too. So sis, Melissa, okay, I'm not sure what your agenda was when you tried to pull this stunt here. I'm not sure if you were just using this to try to leverage your political career or whatever you trying to do. But this policy just needs to be withdrawn. We do not need to have any type of divisive conversations that the listen. We don't need to have conversations about something that is not relevant. This is not relevant to our school district. You know what is relevant? Having policies to talk about financial accountability. So therefore, Richard Cochran does not need to send letters blaming the state and criticizing the board members for not being financially accountable. Okay, maybe we could write policies to ensure that the fund balance doesn't deplete to the point where it triggers state oversight and state receivership. Okay, maybe we could talk about policies to make sure that our schools are equitable, because we see that the ESC and the ELL is very disproportionate. And then when we talk about our Black and brown students, that is a whole nother conversation, because the district leads the state in their school to prison pipeline. And again, we continue to have issues with just resources and supplies and AC. So, Melissa, okay, I'm not sure what you were trying to do with this, but it needs to be shut down. So, Lynn, I emailed the board. I posted the receipt on the comments of this post, so you can go read what I wrote the board. And basically, I told the board that this is just a political stunt and that this needs to be withdrawn. That I'm not sure why Melissa Snively is even bringing this up and even talking about it, that this is just all political at this point. Okay, Lynn Gray responded back and she said, duly noted, thanks. That's her response. I'm waiting for the other board members to see what they respond. Now, Jessica Vaughn has already said what she said. Go watch her live. Again, out of all the policies that we could be creating, okay, this is what she decides to do. She decides to take approved policy from the state and adds it to a miscellaneous policy and try to make this thing work for what? So that you can try to score some political points. And let's talk about these political points for a second, because I'm getting sick and tired of these leaders that say that they're leaders and public servants. So Ron DeSantis, Richard Cochran, and several other state leaders had met at Lakewood Elementary. Okay, if you don't know where Lakewood Elementary is, it is in Pinellas County. It's in St. Pete, where I live. So it's also the district that my wife represents. Okay, District 70. Not only did Ron DeSantis, the governor, intentionally invite other state legislators and left my wife out, but he did that to promote a check where he signs to say that we're giving teacher $1,000 bonuses. Okay, which the signature doesn't match to his other signatures, and he was making bills to suppress votes. So again, these are the leaders that I'm talking about. So Governor Ron DeSantis feels some type of way because my wife always speaks truth to power and calls Ron DeSantis on his BS. And so you did not invite her to celebrate Lakewood Elementary's achievement for what? Because you upset? Okay. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. We have a governor that is literally making threats to withhold superintendents and school board salaries to not follow his unconstitutional law. We're talking about public safety here. We're talking about the safe and healthy of our the safety and health of our educators, our support staff, our students, and everything else. And meanwhile, you have Ron DeSantis, Richard Cochran, and all those folks playing games with the education system. So I hope that you are intentional, please, because our children deserve better. So this is what I'm going to end you with. Okay. Y'all need to pay attention to the games that's about to play tomorrow, because I'm telling you, batter up. It's about to run. And speaking of broke, I'm trying to figure out where these budget amendments are, because I'm looking on the district website, the agenda, and I'm just trying to figure out where the money is. So if Joe if dang, I can't even say that lady name right. If Roe Johnson, okay, sis, if you could make sure that we have these updated budget amendments, because you have people that are out here playing games, okay? Out here playing games, and y'all out here saying that we are okay. The only reason why y'all are okay is because of Biden, President Biden, and the federal relief money. Be very clear on that, which is a one-time payment. And once that's done, the question is, wait, did we talk about civility? No, we didn't. This is what I'm saying. It's very interesting how we tone police folks who are passionate about child abuse. Okay. Now I looked at the board agenda, and on the board agenda, they have a disciplinary action for an educator for child abuse. Okay. I Googled the man, and he's Black. Now there was a whole video of child abuse. Nothing. They still work at Davis Elementary. So, you know, it's just very interesting how people like to play games in this district, and you have different parties that are just coming out the woodwork with just all of their different narratives and their ideologies, and it's not what's best for children. It's not. And I just really hope that y'all take a step back and understand that these school board seats are vital. This is why I talk about it. This is why I emphasize it, because these positions impact your children and future generations to come. And this is why you need to know these folks that are hopping in these seats. Okay? We're going to have school board forums, and we battering up. And the fact that, you know, I was supposed to be taking a break, but I can't even have my surgery because there's people out here that don't believe that COVID is real. They are not doing surgeries because they are full. St. Anthony's had a 6-hour wait 2 days ago. I can't even get my heart repaired, folks. I have a severe regurgitation in my heart, folks, and I cannot get my surgery because the hospitals are full. And y'all out here playing games. So I'm here, and I'm being very transparent about it because I need y'all to know the severity of this situation. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a mechanical heart valve in my heart to keep me going. And how long is that going to last? And wow, you have the superintendent and Melissa Snively out here taking pictures in front of kids without a mask on. How selfish, how dangerous, how irresponsible is that? And I don't care about your personal feelings and your personal ideologies about a mask. I am talking about the federal guidelines with the CDC of professionals that are here to help with public safety. And you have the superintendent and school board members out here without a mask with children. And let's talk about that for a second, because the reopening plan, I don't know if y'all paid attention to it, but I'll post the link in the comments as well. And I want you to look at the access control policy that Addison Davis created. Okay. Addie said that he was not allowing any visitors, any media on campus for 30 days. Y'all saw what happened on the first day of school? In violation of his policy. In fact, I saw certain people that was taking pictures that I didn't understand why they was at certain schools. What? This district is in chaos. And while the school board members out here with these photo ops and all that, you have schools right now that do not have working AC. You have schools right now that do not have vital supplies, and they do not even have the staff to actually provide support. Mhm. There are several schools that are missing over 5 educators. 5. They're missing more than 5 teachers in one school site. Now, we just had cuts. We just had layoffs. And you had folks that was stuck processing. And I was told that some of those employees that was having difficulty being processed was told that they was going to get paid comp time. Now, that's an allegation. I don't know. But what I do know is that teachers, new teachers, check your teacher contracts. Okay? You need to know your teacher contract. And you need to know what is your requirement and what is not your requirement. Because don't let these people tell you what you're supposed to be doing and you don't know the teacher contract and you don't know how to protect yourself. You need to know this teacher contract because it's vital. Okay? You have classes that are full. You have ESC support that is not there. There's people still waiting to get IEPs for their students, for their children. And if y'all looking at that COVID dashboard is wrong because I've been receiving letters all week. I haven't posted them like I did last year. Why? Because I just have so much to do. I just told y'all that I can't even have my heart replaced because people don't want to wear a mask and protect themselves. So just imagine the obstacles that I'm going through. So I don't have time to be posting these letters, but what I'm telling you is that COVID tracker is not accurate. In fact, I went on the Hillsborough County Public Schools page on their post and told them such. And yet still. Now, also, if you don't know, the district renewed EDSB. Why is that a problem? Because why do we buy Canvas if we're still paying for EDSB? And this is the stuff that I'm talking about. So you have Addison Davis that are making all these decisions to make all these changes and realizing that we don't even have the IT infrastructure to make these type of changes. This is why the internet keep going in and out. We have a digital divide. And then you have people that constantly say we just being negative. No. We're talking about the issues that continue to be covered up and is gaslighting the employees that are working in these environments that are saying what's happening. So tell the truth. So please watch the school board meeting tomorrow. There's a board workshop to talk about policy, and you definitely need to watch that. I'll definitely be in the comments because I'm very interested in what Melissa Snively has to say as to why she added this CRT language ban when it's already been talked about in the state. And it's moot because we don't even teach CRT in our schools. So there's that. And then for the school board meeting, there's some interesting contracts and some interesting memorandums of agreement that I think y'all need to look at too. Y'all need to follow the money. I keep telling y'all this, follow the money. This district is broke. This district had bad credit. The cards are maxed out. And meanwhile, we have these elected officials out here taking pictures with students with no mask on. And it's dangerous. It's reckless. And someone needs to be held accountable for that. And then we have the governor playing games and making threats. It's awful. The question on the floor is, what can we do? Well, email your school board members, okay? Let them know how you feel because they're public servants. They work for you. These people said, hey, vote for me. I'm going to make sure that we have financial accountability. That's what Melissa Snively was saying. And then we have no idea about this financial situation. Okay. Oh, we do know the district is broke, but Melissa Snively can't explain it to you. Okay. What else you can do is to get other people involved. Okay, because there's some people that are really intentional about this work, and there's some people that just don't have the time and they don't have the bandwidth. But at least give them the cliff notes, let them know what's happening, and get them involved. The last thing that you can do when it comes down to when it's time to vote, y'all be intentional with the people that y'all selecting. Please. because there's a lot of people that use school board seats as a political springboard for their career. They use school board seats as a catalyst for their political career. And it is not right, because our children deserve better, and our children should not be used as political pawns in this situation. The comment was they renewed SB. Yes, they did. They did. They renewed SB. And they're paying for Canvas. So this is where your money is going. And then you have, Achieve 3000 sending emails to the staff. How did they get access to these teachers' emails? Huh? So I just want y'all to know to please be intentional. I love y'all so much. Please keep me and my family in your prayers. Like I'm just being very transparent that like this situation is tough. Not knowing when I'm going to get my heart repaired, not knowing what's going to be my next steps, not knowing any of that, because hospitals are full, doctors are busy, and it's just a nightmare. Please be intentional. Please be safe. If you're out there, please wash your hands. Please be mindful of other people and stop being selfish. We constantly talk about choice, parent choice, but where's my choice right now? I have no choice. I'm literally sitting here just trying to figure out when's my next move, which is my whole reason why I told the school board that I don't know when the next time I'm going to have an opportunity to speak with them. But, people continue to play games. And so please be safe. Please. And yeah, I love y'all so much. And for Addie, again, Addie, it's just very interesting how you have talked about these school grade increases, and we trying to figure out where the receipts. You had state legislators, Addie, ask you about the receipts on these school grades that increase. Meanwhile, the FSA data doesn't show the same. We need receipts, Addison Davis, because there's allegations that have been following you all the way from Duval County, sir, where you have been manipulating data. So I hope that you don't have anything to do maliciously with this information, because you had certain school sites where they increased their letter grade where only 5% of that class passed the FSA. But that's okay. We're going to get there. I'm going to show you that information later. But y'all need to be intentional and follow the money and follow these people in this district, because people lie receipts though. And I'm going to always have my receipts. And so again, y'all be safe, because it's real out here in these streets. People are dying. People are losing their life. People are losing their family members. My grandmother battled COVID, and I'm glad that she's safe, and I'm glad that she's back where she needs to be. But this is too much. And Melissa, sis, I don't know what your agenda is going to be tomorrow, but all I know is this: we don't teach CRT, and we don't need you to come in here with these political ideologies and play games and use this as leverage for whatever your political aspirations are, because you're not serving on the board again. We know that. So where you're going next, I'm not sure, but is not going to be serving in any role elected in Hillsborough County. You best believe that. So with that being said, I love y'all. Y'all have a great day. And like I always say, people lie, receipts don't. And if you don't have no receipts, then please keep my name out your mouth. Be blessed. I'll see you later. Bye.
Please keep my name about your mouth and mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business. Sing choir.
Please keep my name about your mouth.
Oh yeah.
You hear that, Melissa? Keep my name out your mouth.
Your mouth.
Bye.